Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and I've got another very Christmassy design for you today with these little cute gingerbread men decals from the Decal Queen. It's another really simple set, but I love how it turned out. So if you would like to see exactly how I created this one, then please keep watching. I am working on Ebony, my Elena hand today. Just going to give it a bit of a clean over because they really do attract the dust, these practice hands. I've applied gem stiletto tips and cut them down to a more wearable salon length. These are the gingerbread men decals I'm using from the Decal Queen. I've chosen the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to cut them out really close to the decals and then pop them on a wet sponge, pop to one side, so they are ready for when I need them. As always, gems, acrylics. I am using crystal clear because I always use crystal clear. I have also got angel white. I'm going to use this as the background to the decals, and for glitter I have this beautiful candy cane lane from Scarlett Senter. It's just a beautiful red and white mix. It's perfect for Christmas. So we're going in with a thin clear base, and then we can get into the design. Now I've called it, I said gingerbread men. Should I be saying person, people? Gingerbread person. Let's go with that. Right, now I've done the thin clear base, we'll just forget what they are. They're gingerbreads. And I am going to do angel white on the middle and the ring finger as the background base to the decals. Now these decals, being from the Decal Queen, they do have a white base to them already, so you can put them over top of any colour you like, but I wanted to keep it quite simple, so I thought a white background with the red and the white glitter would be perfect. I could have gone with red, but I just thought white would work much nicer. Keeping it nice and thin because obviously I've got to encapsulate these afterwards. So I'm just painting this on, making sure I've got nice coverage everywhere, just filling in any gaps, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on the ring finger. So here you see I've just placed my bead and I've just swiped it down, and look at that coverage already. This white is so pigmented. I do have to go back in to tidy up that cuticle line because it was not very good at all, but still working nice and thin, just tidying up and then just painting the product down that nail. I'm just going to keep doing this until it's fully covered. It's that simple. I reckon my nephew could have done it. That's making him sound a bit stupid. He definitely could do it, actually. And then I'm just going to leave that to set. Once it's set, which it is now from the power of editing, I'm going in with my wash of clear acrylic. We're going to let that set ever so slightly so it's tacky. My decals have been sat on that wet sponge, so they will now easily slide off the backing, and then I can place them on the nail exactly where I wanted them. I did want to have it on a little bit of a angle, but I probably should have gone a size down with the decal for that. But I didn't mind. I quite liked how they were. So here we go on the ring finger. Wash of clear acrylic. Just waiting for a moment, let that acrylic go tacky. I'm going to slide the decal off the backing paper, place it on the nail where I want it, and then just pat it down into place, and then we can leave that acrylic to set. I don't want to push, I don't want to smush, I don't want to overwork that decal because it will tear. Just pat it into place very gently and leave it. And then I'm going to move on now to the index and the pinky, and these are the most easiest nails in the world now because I've just done full glitter nails with that Candy Cane Lane glitter. So as I normally do with glitters, starting off with a slightly smaller bead so I can get a nice neat cuticle. And then when I'm happy with that, I can have slightly bigger beads so that I can fill the rest of the nail. Patting it down, keeping it nice and flat and thin so that when I encapsulate the nail, I'm not building loads of bulk or filing into the glitter. And when I'm happy with the coverage, I just do the same on the pinky. Here you can see I just use the very tip of the brush just to prod and push those glitter pieces around so I can fill in any gaps. I use a nice wet bead of clear acrylic into the raw glitter. I like to work it as wet as I can so that I've got time to move that glitter around before it sets in place, so that I know I've got the coverage how I want it and I've not got thick bulky nails. Although it is very cold at the moment, so nothing was setting particularly fast. So here you can see I'm just doing the same on the pinky, just working on that nail until I've got coverage right to the very tip. And then once I'm happy, I want that glitter to set in place before I cap and clear, because there's nothing worse than getting all your glitter nicely placed and then going straight into cap it and just smushing and moving all of that glitter from where you've placed it. So I tend to sort of have a bit of a tidy up, you know, put the lid on my glitter, tidy up my cloth before I encapsulate in clear acrylic. As you can see, I am doing there, look. So design is all laid down. We are going to encapsulate in clear acrylic, making sure we've got all the correct nail structure. I am then going to file them to shape, all off camera as always, and then we'll be ready to finish this design off. So this design is all encapsulated and filed, and to be honest, you could leave it like this, or you could add a few crystals above those gingerbread people person decals. But no, this is me, and I decided to add a little bit of a frame on these nails using some of the Perfect Nails stamping and art gel in red and white. So I've got the new Gems Addison brush. This is a nice stripy, long stripy brush, and I'm going to use that just to line all the way around the nail like a little bit of a frame. Actually, I think this was the shimmering red I used as well. Really, really pretty. So you see, I'm just cleaning up off of the skin, off of the finger, if I overlap. If you're on a person, you definitely want to give it a good clean before you cure. But it wipes away really easily on these practice hands. So if I missed a bit, my apologies. So you see, I'm just lining all the way around. I just want a nice thin line, bit of a frame. I'm going to go across the bottom as well. And then I am going to do the same on the other gingerbread nail, but I didn't keep that in the video. And cure this for 60 seconds. If I had kept it in the video, I would have sort of flash cured the first nail so I didn't smush it. And then do the second nail and then fully cure them both, but I did the second one off camera. So I'm going to cure that now, and here we have both nails all nicely framed in that shimmery red, and I'm going to top coat with Tina Top now. Look at how pretty that glitter is. It's a fully matte glitter, and it is so pretty. It's very Christmassy, and I thought with these particular decals, it all tied together really nicely. It didn't need too much else going on. You could, if you preferred, like add some crystals on the two gingerbread nails just at the cuticle, but I really like that red frame all the way around. But it's one of those, like with all the designs I do, things like this are completely optional. You could change it for crystals or whatever, but I went with that frame. So now I've applied Tina Top to all the nails. I'm going to cure for 60 seconds And again, you could leave the nails like this, but I decided I wanted to frame the glitter nails as well. So I've got the white gel from Perfect Nails, and using the same Addison brush, I'm loving this brush by the way, as you can see I'm doing a frame all the way around these nails. Now the white went on so much easier I found than the red, and I think it's because I top coated. I had to wipe it away twice on the red before I got it how I was happy, but you know, a little bit of editing and kept that out. So you could have top coated and then gone in with the gel and either top coated again or just left it, because they don't have a tacky finish, but I wanted to do it this way. So here you can see I'm just going all the way around at the cuticle, joining up down the side walls. I've done across the free edge. You'll also notice it's a slightly thicker line than the red, but I wanted that as well, and all will be revealed soon. Now I haven't cured the first nail. I'm just being really careful, and I'm just doing exactly the same on the pinky. So you can see I've done the two side walls first, then I'm going to join up around the cuticle, just nicely round. It doesn't need to be perfect, just, you know, think icing, it doesn't always come out perfectly, and it's Christmas, it doesn't matter if it drips and drops a little bit. Then I'm joining it up at the free edge, just making sure I haven't got any little gaps, and then when I'm happy with this nail I'm going to go back to the index finger, and I've got this little mix of a very fine glitter and some clear acrylic, and I'm just using my little scoop and I'm going to apply that on the nail, fully covering all of that paint, and exactly the same on the pinky, really covering it. I'm going over and over a few times because it's going, that acrylic and bits is really going to soak into the gel, so I want to make sure it's fully covered. I'm going to double cure, so for 120 seconds, dust away all of the excess, and this design is done. So I absolutely loved how these nails came out. As I said, framing the nails with the paint is a completely optional thing. It was just something I chose to do, and I'm so glad I did. I thought they looked fab. It made me think of sort of gingerbread houses and all the icing around the doors and the windows and the roof, and I really loved that finishing touch. Obviously, if it is not to your taste, you could add sort of some icicles coming down from the cuticle on the glitter nails. You could add some crystals, or you could just leave them plain. That's the great thing about nail designs, is there are so many different options, and if one thing is not for one person, it might be for another person. And I try and do these designs in my videos in ways that could be adapted to suit. So we're at the end of another Christmas video, and I really do hope you enjoyed this one and like this set. I would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I will pop all of the product details in the description box, and don't forget to use my code Helen5 if you're shopping at the nail team. You can always leave me any comments down below. I love to hear from you. But that is it for another design, and I will see you again very soon. Bye. Mwah.